I mean, I guess it is. I went through till about 10 o'clock this morning thinking it was Sunday. So I don't know. It could be Christmas, it could be Tuesday for all I know. I just don't know. Hang on a second, I gotta plug I've managed to unplug my fan somehow, and it decided it wasn't gonna work because it wasn't plugged in. Oh no, it's broken completely. It's just dead. It's just dead. Oh no. Oh well. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and get refreshed over here right quick. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind tonight. I spent all day organizing. You will be glad or not care at all to know that I got all of my things swapped out. I have all my online exclusives and my new catalog things up in my shelves, and all the DSPs put away, all the dies put away. I just now uploaded to my online shop the labels for the new catalog, stamp set labels, die set labels, so you can go and download those whenever you are ready. And this is our card for today. It's our first sneak peek from the new mini catalog. As requested on Thursday, the branching out was the highly requested bundle to use, and so I did that because I am all about making y'all happy. Hey everybody, I appreciate you guys coming. I hope you're having a great weekend. This is a great set, and what I really like about it is even though it's got pine cones and pine boughs and all the things that I love, it's truly not a Christmas set. This is not a Christmas set. There are no Christmas, really there's no specific Christmas sentiments in it anywhere. You've got birthday, you've got sent with love, thinking of you brings joy to my heart, and hello. So this is very generic, just a nice wintry set. I also used some of the DSP. This is an online DSP, and this is the Elegant Pine Snowflake DSP, all right? And you can see the pretty colors. Got Secret Sea in the background, and then these snowflakes made with pine boughs, which I just think is terribly clever. I really love it. So some good winter paper for you, all right? Not Christmassy, just wintry. And the dies in the set cut out these pine bough snowflakes, the pine cones, and I believe it'll also do these large ones as well. So that's the bundle that goes with the paper. All right, and then I also used from the mini catalog, this is the new earthen toned metallic paper in brown, and it is beautiful. It would also absolutely, if you used a Christmas sentiment, it would 1000% be perfect for Christmas. Julie, you are exactly right. Okay, so here is the front of the card, and then we have on the inside some pine boughs and a many happy moments sentiment. Let us go ahead and get started. This will all be on my blog tomorrow. All right, we are starting with a Secret Sea card base, and I have a large piece of the DSP. Now there are two designs in that pack that look very similar to this. This is the other one. Perhaps you can, it's maybe easier to tell from the back that they are different, but you can actually see that this one that I've used is the one that has like the snowflake, the pine needle snowflakes, okay? This one is just got pines all around it. So you can use whichever one. It just depends on which one you prefer. Before I adhere this, we're going to use this, not the next to largest, but the second from largest of the dies in branching out, and I'm going to cut a hole right in the center of this, okay? So I will be right back. I will be right back. And I just want to get it kind of straight. Straight's good. Sometimes crooked is good, but in this particular case, straight is what I am going for. And I'm going to use a sticky note to help ensure that, so that I do not have to cut a second one. All right, here we go. And I'll just save this for another time. I'm sure there will be something I can use that for. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fold up my fold it a little bit. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to attach this. But before I do that, I want to put my background onto the card front. Okay, so we're just going to basically center it. It doesn't really matter as long as it's inside the hole, right? All right, here we go. See, we're talking about somebody. Sydney. Have you heard Sydney Christmas sing tomorrow? I have not, but I guess I need to be looking that up. Linda, you absolutely want this. Look at me, I tried to center it over there. Nope, that's not gonna work at all. Okay, so we'll put that right there like that. Close this up and get me some dimensionales. And I'm going to be pretty generous with these on here because I want it to stick up. Yeah, you could probably use foam adhesive strips, but I think that's probably more trouble than it's worth, unless you wanted to make this a shaker card. You really actually could if that was how you roll. But since I just did a shaker card, that seemed kind of silly for me to do another one. So I'm not doing it. Can't make me. Well, I mean, you could make me, but I'm not today. You can't make me do it today. It's too late. This was already going. Okay. Get all these off. So here's the most time-consuming thing right here. Rosie. Yep. That's my job. Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. An enabler. If you look that up in the dictionary, I'm sure that's what it says. Helps people spend their money. That is my job. And helps people be creative. Sometimes you don't even know you're creative until you get to using all the good products and you have the color coordination that Stampin' Up! Brings to the table. All right, so now we're going to line this up very carefully. I don't want to stick it down until I'm pretty sure I have it where I want it. It's pretty forgiving because I've got it on a Secret C card front, but you know, you kind of still want to be careful. I think that's pretty darn close. It could be a little bit more that way. A little bit more that way. Truthfully, it's actually harder doing this up on dimensionals than it is with liquid glue, because although you can still pick them up and reposition, they don't just slide, right? You do have to physically pick them up. That's a mobetta. Okay, we're gonna call that perfecto. Woohoo! Now, to make the frame that you can see on here, all I did was take these two dies, the same one that I just made the hole with, and the one larger, and I set them on a piece of Lost Lagoon, and I did use a sticky note to hold them together so that they didn't get all cattywampus. And I ran it through, and that created my frame. And we're just going to use little dabs of liquid glue and adhere it with around that edge. Could you do it without the frame? Yes, but why would you? Why would you when you could make a frame? And you could do all different colors. I mean, I considered white. I considered cherry cobbler. Lost Lagoon is not one of the colors in this DSP, but Pretty Peacock is. And so Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon are birds of a feather who flock together. They're like brothers from another mother, you know what I mean? You can just about count on Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock going together like peanut butter and jelly. Perfect. Okay. Now, with the smallest die in the set, right here, the smallest rectangle, I cut out a Lost Lagoon label, and I'm just going to adhere it right in the center. I know, the frame die, even if you just didn't love the pine dies, and I've got this on upside down, that's why it's doing that, and the pine cone and the berries, just the nesting label dies are amazing, all right? All right, so we're just going to center this squarely, straight as I can get it in that open window. Okay, now that can sit there for a second. Let's look at the things that I have die cut. I've got the pieces ready to make my little banner right there. And then I cut out some thingy-wongers. All right, I have 2 of the pine boughs that I cut out of Pretty Peacock cardstock. This is an extra. This was from my first card. We're only going to use 3 of them, so I am only going to, I'm going to cut one of them down like this. Oh, thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. I'm just cutting this off because I only want 3, because 4 would be an even number, and that's just not how we want to roll. And then I cut 5 of the little pine cones. I started with 3, and then I thought, you know, if 3 is good, 5 is better. Just saying. And I cut 2 of these little, come on now, these little berry vine doohickeys from Pecan Pie cardstock. And we're going to take our dark cherry cobbler Stampin' blend and color the berries. Okay, just like this. Now, you know what else you can do? I'm going to show you something so that you could do this with another card if you wanted to. If you cut one of these pine bough thingy doohas off of here, like this, you could adhere that right on the bough. Could adhere a couple of those on the boughs, like at those little joints right there. Okay, I didn't do that with this one, but you could. You could. All right. Okie dokie. Here we go. It's marginally cooler today, not by a heck of a lot, that's for sure. But it isn't slap you in the face hot when you go outside, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so those are all colored. And they kind of have a subdued color, all right? Do we sign up to get the mini catalog? So, are you a demonstrator, Sue? If you are, then you should get a complimentary one the next time you log into the demonstrator website, okay? So look for that banner. It goes across the top. All right, now, I'm going to cut these down. I'm going to cut right about here. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting where there's a little berry right in the top, and that way I can use that as a shorter piece, right? Does that make sense? And then I'm going to cut another one down here. We don't need it to be too awfully long. We may not even use it. That's right. We don't know, but we're going to make it so we could use it. Okay, see, now you have an actual berry, another one. See how it's got the berry at the top? I'm just throwing that out there. You don't have to do it. And now we're going to create our collage. And I'm starting with the little berry boughs as kind of the starting point. And we're going to put the 2-banger. This is the 2-banger. That's like an old-time reference to what? That game. Remember Battleship? The game Battleship, where you said B4. Oh, you sunk my battleship. Yeah, it's like that. All right, I'm going to cut this off a little bit. We don't need it to be quite so long. And then we'll put our pine cones in once we get everything adhered. Okie doke. I will send a catalog. I have already sent catalogs to anyone who's ordered $50 in the past year. If you are wanting to be a customer, you can contact me and we'll get you hooked up. I did notice, however, Sue, that you spelled catalog with a G-U-E. So if you're overseas, I can't really send you a catalog, but if you'll contact me, I will try to hook you up with a demonstrator in your market. If you're just spelling that because you are European and you want a catalog sent to the United States, just give me a holler, okay? Salut, okay, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and give these a little sticky down. Oh, thanks, Sonia. I appreciate that. Down, sticky, down. That was just a little joke there. Okay, probably not that funny. It just occurred to me and kind of struck my fancy when I said it. All right, and then we're going to adhere this little guy. Come here. Sometimes things just don't want to work the way I want them to work, and that is annoying. Don't you think? Doesn't it annoy you when that happens? Put that on like, oh, a little bit of sticky finger there. Got a little carried away with my glue. Yeah. And then we'll put this down here. Collages are going to pretty much be different every time you do them, and that's okay. That is fine. They're still going to be beautiful. And I think you should be proud. I did spend several minutes trying to decide if I should put like a linen thread bow, especially since we now have early espresso and old olive for your dining pleasure, for your bow making pleasure, but I didn't. So there you go. Okay, now while that is setting, let's go ahead and make our sentiment, shall we? I made a kind of a little banner, and I'm going to show you how I did that. First, we're going to, this is a 7/8 inch wide piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp happiest birthday wishes on there in cherry cobbler. Yes, exactly. They do keep hiding from me. I am certain that there will be something I need. Like, y'all keep an eye on these pine cones, because they're going to walk away while I'm not looking. That's how they roll. All right, and I'm just stamping it kind of close to the edge, like that. And I'll take my trimmer and cut that down. Now my pine cones are going to try to attach. Here, this is what I do. I look and see that looks like about 1/8 of an inch from the end of the B. So I will measure what looks like 1/8 of an inch from the end of the Y, and whatever that is, that's where I cut it off. Okay, does that make sense? So there would be, the end of the Y is right there in that cutting doohickey, so I'm just going to move like 1/8 of an inch to the left, and then I'll cut there. Very, very scientific. I'm just throwing that out. Now, for my banner ends, I just have a small piece. It's like, it's about 5/8 of an inch this way and 7/8 that way. And I am going to, in one of them, I'm going to snip a banner like this. Okay. And then to make the other one match it, I'm lining it up. It started the same size. And then I'm just going to cut there like that. Now you could cut them both at the same time, but it's a little harder cut to do, and so you know I didn't. That's why. Because I didn't want to. So there you go. And they are going to go like so. And what I did is I just took, okay, Stampin' Dimensionalis. Where did you go? There. Okay. I am going to put a dimensional right at the edge of the banner. Okay, like so. And I will pick up the lid. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball it like that. Okay, that looks about right. And then I am going to, all right, here we go. And then I'm just kind of trying to line them up best I can. There we go. And you could get all wrapped around the axle with it if you want. I just didn't. Okay. Now I'm going to adhere it right here. And I'm going to use some dimensionals right in that inside part right there to grab it. And then we'll add our pretty piney conies, like that. And for my pine cones, I'm just using liquid glue, and I'm kind of, a couple of them I'm putting behind the boughs and a couple I'm putting on front of the boughs. Like so. Let's see, let's go. We'll go one right here. And I didn't put any liquid glue behind the brushy parts of the boughs so that I can just pick them up and put my pine cones wherever I want them. Like that. Aren't these so pretty? I love this earthen toned metallic, and it's just, it just says brown. That's the color it is brown. And it's kind of perfect, I think. Not too shiny, not too dull, not too bright. It's pretty well perfect. Pretty well perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. I love ya tomorrow. Thank you, Shirley. Appreciate that. And then let's see, let's put one more. We're gonna put one more in the inside of that little doohickey right there. There we go. And there is pretty close to our card front, but what I decided to do is use some of the traditional sparkling sequins. These are from the mini, and they come in real red, old olive, pool party, and gold. And I just put one of the mediums. I put a medium and a small down here. And then let's put another small right there. And that's our card front. Boom. I'm very much already in love with this thing. And look, I've still got a pine bough and some berries left. Wonder, maybe we need another berry. The center looks a little bit open, doesn't it? Looks a little bit sad right there, huh? Maybe I'll put that in. Let's see. Will I? I don't know. If I put it right there. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there because I have it. Why wouldn't I put it right there? You are welcome, Mary Catherine. I think you're going to need it. I am also going to be putting in another order, I'm pretty sure, any second now. And I want to put, oh, look at this. I have two of these little doohickeys. Oh. Maybe I'll put another, no, don't, just leave it be, Mary. Here's, you see, here's my problem. I don't know quite when to let it alone. No, that would be an odd number. I'm going to leave it just like that. Maybe pull this a little bit to that side. There we go. Okay, I'm stopping now. I'm stopping. Okay, so let me get a piece of basic white cardstock for our innards, and I'm going to stamp a second sentiment from the set in Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler is one of the best winter reds. Wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. I love the font on these. And I'm going to take, I've got this branch image, and let me get my envelope out. I can stamp them all at the same time, showing you how efficient I am. That doesn't mean nothing if not efficient. And I will stamp this bow in. Oh, Nancy, I'm glad you did too, because it helped me to have a place to start, because there's so many now that I want to use and I don't know where to start. So this helped me. So we're just going to stamp part of this down here in the corner. We'll do the same on our envelope. Like that. And in Cherry Cobbler, I'm going to do, I know, the dies are worth the purchase, even if you didn't love the pine bough part, even if that wasn't part of your happy place. All right, so these line up. They do line up, but you got to spend a second getting it. Okay. Okay. And then we'll go down here. See these little 3 bangers go right there. Well, I missed it, but that'll be okay. It's artsy. There it is. It's artsy. It's artsy. It's artsy. It's artsy. All right, let me get that lined up. Sorry, I have to stop talking because it makes my brain short circuit when I try to talk and line things up. I don't know why. It didn't used to be that way. I used to be the world's best multitasker. I could compartmentalize and multitask as much as I needed to, which is good for a pilot, I'm just saying. But as I've gotten older, my ability to do that appears to have kind of fallen by the wayside. So I used the, well, let's see, I need to add another little bow. I'm gonna add another little piece of bow. There's a very short little bow right there, and I'm gonna add a little bit so that I can put an extra. There we go. And we'll do the same on the envelope. There we go. Okay. Now, in Pretty Peacock ink, I used the single pine bough thingy, what's it? That's a very technical term. Not everybody knows how to use it, but if you know, you know. And I'm going to stamp this pine bough. There we go. I love this because what's cool is the set not only has this single, but it's got a 3 image on the same stamp with them a little further apart, and then 3 with them closer together. So you can do a whole bunch of things with it, which is awesome. I love it. My only issue with it is I might get a little carried away stamping pine boughs because I do love them. They are one of my favorite things. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to put it on the inside of our card base, put an envelope flap decor on, and we are done. We're done in the sun, hon. No, it did rhyme, but it really made no sense in this context at all. I mean, sorry. And I'm sorry I called you hun. I feel like I know y'all pretty well, but calling you hun is just, nope, that's just too far. Okay, here we go. So there's our card. And then we're just going to put a little bit more of that DSP on the envelope flap, that beautiful Secret Seed background. Love it. Is Secret Seed not the best color ever? I mean, my goodness. My goodness. And look at that. I even got half of a snowflake on this piece. How cool is that? I didn't even try. It was totally by accident. Okay, there we go. There we go. World's easiest fussy cut. I would like to point out there was no fussy cutting on this card with the exception of the envelope flap, and that doesn't even count. I call this non-fussy cutting. Okay, there you go. So birthday cards with the branching out stamp set and dies, perfect. Add in some of the elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP or any of the DSPs from the new catalog or the online exclusives, and you will be ready to wish anybody you know happy birthday. Alrighty guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I thank you for spending part of your weekend with me, and I hope I'll see you on Thursday. I do not know what we're making, but I can almost guarantee it'll be one of the new products. Okay? See ya. Have a good one. Ta.